What's up, everybody? My name is Selina. I also go by Seluna.
Oh, hey, I'm sorry.
I'm here doing the Talk Down episode, season 2.
Hey.
Tune in to the whole thing, and if you're unaware and you were sleeping this whole time, you might want to backtrack season 1, catch up. But yeah, it's my episode, and we're going to talk about changing the narrative, which is something I'm really passionate about, and I hope that you get into it.
They let it talk down when I'm not around, yeah. It's only tied down when I'm out of town, no. I don't trust many when I'm in the city. I never been a shooter, but I keep them with me. Watch them steal the style and say they inspire. Bitch, I been a boss who wanna get higher. They let it talk down when I'm not around.
What's good, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Talk Down. It's your boy Ryan.
And it's Juan, and we have another special guest for us. We have Selina here, and she's an artist / poet, right?
Yes.
So you want to tell them a little bit about yourself?
So, as Juan mentioned, I do poetry and I write rap songs, and I just released a project in February of this year called Change the Narrative, and I'm also a mother.
That's
and
interesting. That our
So
episode
weird,
is Change the Narrative. Okay.
I see what you did
So
there.
funny how that worked out.
We want to get to know the person a little bit. So what would you like to be remembered by when people reflect on your life 20 years from now?
I don't know. I would like to be seen as someone who led by example, someone who was nurturing, but also not a pushover, someone who was able to find the balance between the two, because they're both important. And I'd like to be thought of as someone who loved and lived.
That's amazing. Great segue into, from her album, Changing the Narrative, to what she actually brought up to us. And it was changing the narrative, finding honor in places less desired, right? So to quote her, she's saying busying yourself is more applauded than centering yourself these days. So it's almost like people would rather try to brag than actually be humble, right? She also said, the garbage man holds a vast community importance too. And I'm happy that guy's around and not too proud to fill that job.
Yeah.
So what goes into it? Talk about it.
Well, as far as the glorifying of busying yourself versus centering yourself, I think that if people, because everyone's on display now, right? Like we've got cameras and
Social media.
Yeah, all of that. So where there is a sense of trying to outdo the other person, and they're like, look how
Be seen like, hey,
little
look at
sleep
me.
I can get.
Yeah.
You know, like look how many meals I can go without because I'm so attached to the grind, and that is. Like, it's terrible for you, obviously. So in terms of, like, that's the glorification of busying yourself versus centering yourself, which is getting enough sleep and eating well and staying hydrated.
And almost being realistic to your situation, right? Because it feels like another one of your points is that people are busy trying to be the boss.
Yeah, I mean, there's, like, a boss bitch culture. You know, as an artist myself, I can safely blame rap music for a lot of that stuff. It's like,
And
Rick
pop
Ross
culture.
is
It's a
the
culture
boss,
thing, yeah.
And, I'm the boss. Like, that word goes around a lot. And it's not something bad to aspire to be, as long as it's not taking away from you and depleting necessary energy from you.
Within your means, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
And there's a loss of understanding where your limits are.
Yeah, when you initially said that, and me and Juan were talking about it, I honestly feel like, and I wanted to ask you this, do you feel like 9-to-5s are frowned upon? Like they're not cool now?
Yeah.
Can you elaborate a little bit on that? Like,
because there are a lot of people who are very passionate about their art, and they want to devote their time, which is theirs, belongs to them, to their art and what they want to do. Whether it's art or whether it's some invention or anything, if it's something that is yours, rightfully so, you kind of want to devote all of your time to that.
Absolutely.
And not have to pause whatever project is that you're working on to go and work for someone else.
live your real life to give you real means. Like, especially if you're doing something that isn't bringing you an income or isn't of a monetary value at this point. I think realistically, if you have bills, you have to really
need to be big.
Exactly. So
Do you think it's a little bit dangerous, though, to kind of fall victim to that wave in a way? Because in order for me to be able to fund what I want to do, I have to have money in my pocket, right? So how am I going to have money if I'm chasing my dreams? Hello, I'm chasing my dreams, but there's no money coming in. So what am I going to do?
You need
How is that?
backing for anything that you're trying to set off of the ground. And even for me personally, like, it was it was my 9 to 5 that funded my ability to buy beats and pay for mixes and, you know, like buy my own software and microphone to do my own thing. And had I not had that, I wouldn't have been able to pull these things off. Apart from that too, I think a lot of people who settle on the idea that, oh, you know, I just work a regular job, I'm not important, you know, like I'm not as cool as this person who's like got all this shine.
Exactly. And to touch on that too, another point that I was thinking about is like some people like that structure. Some people like being told what to do. They thrive in those situations. Like some people are really good workers and they're not the bosses. Down the road, they might become a boss, but everybody wants to be the boss now. They don't want to work. They don't realize, and you said it also too, what it takes to really become a boss, right? The hours, sacrifices, not seeing your family as much. Like, do you feel like people realize that there is a bigger sacrifice long term of what you miss? Professional athletes, all of this stuff, they retire earlier because like, hey, I just want to be with my family. Like you lose that stuff. You lose those years and you can never get them back.
I think it's starting to catch on that it's probably not all it's cracked up to be. But, you know, I don't think we're all the way there yet. I think we're slowly like crawling towards that realization, but
I think we are taught now to want more than what we have at the moment, especially if we grow up where we grew up. Like we grew up in the inner city where it's, you know, it's the vicious cycle. Everyone's kind of struggling and you want to be the crab to get out of the bucket in a way, right? Knowing that and personally having that situation where I built up my career to a certain point where I was making a good amount of money, but I wasn't happy because society told me that I was working for someone else. So I should have been my boss by now. So I left look, I'm gonna be honest. I left my job, no backup plan. I just said, I'm gonna do this. This is my dream. So I literally depleted my resources because society told me that I should be my own boss. And I left a good paying job. I was very comfortable. My family was eating. Everybody was fine. I got to travel, exactly. But I didn't appreciate my truth because I was chasing the truth that society told me. No, this is where you should be. This is the boss you should be. And looking at it now, hindsight's always 20/20, obviously, and thinking about changing my narrative, it took for me to actually change my narrative and face my truth to say, I am exactly where I want to be, and this is actually pretty damn good, right? And I am now setting myself up to be smarter to say, if I do have plans in the future, I have the means now, but I'm not just going to leave this, right?
I want to ask you real quick, do you feel like going through that situation, now you understand, and you said hindsight 20/20, do you feel like you had to go that to realize that stuff?
Oh, yeah.
Because look, let's be honest, you took that chance, right? So now you see it because you lived it. Some people never live it, and they think like, oh, everything looks amazing when you think about it. When you actually live through it like you did, you're like, wait a minute, like, I actually had it pretty damn good. Like,
it's like
to be the boss, like,
it's like someone told me that bungee jumping was fun without the bungee cord.
Exactly. No plan.
You know what I mean? Like,
and you're like, hey, let me try that out.
Yeah. Like, sure. Have you ever felt that pressure personally in your life?
To
just, this isn't what I'm supposed to be doing. I want to be doing my poetry. I want to be creating. I want to be influencing.
I felt that. When the onset of artistic energy first came, I was like,
oh, I like that phrasing.
Damn, I wish that I could not go to work today and just do this all
realistically,
day.
That's what we all want.
Like it's what you want. But I think for me, I have children. I have 2 sons, 1 on the way. And
Congratulations.
And I wasn't able, like that wasn't even an option for me to quit work. Like,
of course.
Okay, cool. Like I could spend time writing all day, but what are we going to eat for dinner later?
Exactly.
So reality for you is a little more in your face than for other people who probably live with their moms and like, you know, scratch their asses all day. Like they don't really have responsibilities.
It wasn't much of, I didn't have much of a choice.
Right.
So you learn to make do. But like you said, then I figured out how to do both. Like if one thing really speaks to you, you'll find time for it. You don't have to kill yourself finding time for your passions and things that you want to do.
So speaking of kids, how do you balance teaching your kids that lesson while also preventing them from settling for less?
Oh, that's a good one.
Oh, you know.
I use everyday moments to insert these things.
Yeah, because you strike me as a person that's not going to just tell your kid, oh, you're working here? Fine, stick to that 9 to 5. That's cool. No. You know what I mean? Like, if that's what you want to do, live your truth. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. I mean, you have to keep them grounded and
Right.
nurture their thoughts and ideas too. But when situations arise, I'm really good about stopping to give like 5-minute lectures real quick. I'm like,
course.
all right, so here's the deal with this. Then do you see how this can, and once you, like, if you don't know how to make friends at the park, you're probably not going to get along with your coworkers when you grow up. And so little things like that.
Like you're guiding them, right? And I don't have any kids per se, right? But I have younger
That you know
nephews.
of? No, I'm kidding.
No, I definitely don't have no kids. But I have 2 younger nephews and a really young niece right now. She's not talking yet, but when she can talk, I will be talking to her. But there's everyday situations, like you said, like big reasons I tell my sister not only to involve them in like sports and activities, because these people skills that we are able to
That's so
develop.
important.
For me, one of the main reasons why I'm really good with other people is because I was around them very young in my life, like sports or even activities, whatever, being in the park, being able to talk. Like those skills helped me to what I am right now and gave me that confidence even more to be like, you know what? I can go talk to whoever I want.
Yeah,
Right.
being in
Respectfully.
sports, it teaches you teamwork.
Exactly.
Discipline,
It teaches you discipline. It teaches you having a coach, so there's someone to answer to.
Yeah.
authority.
Yeah.
Right.
Losing, winning, right? Like and
Losing with
and
grace,
how that feels.
winning
Yeah.
with grace.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like not being a showboat and not being a sore loser. But like my younger son in particular he's kind of the more headstrong one.
Okay.
And I know, like inside, you can just tell that he has a hard time answering to people.
Okay.
And-
Oh wow. Okay.
yeah.
And
That's
you
dope.
noticed
That's
that
dope.
immediately.
At birth.
Before he could talk.
Yeah, he came out with a screw face. I'm like, this is gonna So with him, like being so small, you would look at him and not feel like you really need to explain yourself. But that's exactly what he wants you to do. Like he doesn't want you to just tell him what to do with no
Backing.
understanding of why. So there's the balance of sometimes you just got to do it because it's what I'm telling you, and then there's sometimes I'll honor that aspect of his personality and explain things to him. But and I would specifically talk to him about the future and perhaps being a boss someday, because I can see him leaning more that way than my older son, just because I mean they both have the potential, but they're very different personalities.
Yeah.
And in order to be a boss, you first have to be an employee. In order to be a leader, you first have to be a student. And
Not a follower, but a student.
a student.
Yeah, exactly.
And learn. Those are learning how to be a boss. You don't just become one.
No.
No.
Right? And that's
And you
a
don't
false
even
narrative
do
that a
it
lot of
right.
people
Right.
follow.
I think
Like,
some people have leadership qualities, but that doesn't make you a boss. Right? Because I can put someone with leadership qualities when they're young and naive. I can put them in a room to manage 6 people. Immediately, as soon as you become the manager or someone above, you're not looked at the same. You're not one of them. So how would they handle that situation?
Yeah. And if you don't know what it's like to be an employee, you won't know how to manage that employee.
Because you haven't lived it.
You'll have a terrible relationship because, if you go straight from this person to leader, your ego is going to be completely unprepared for like inheriting that kind of power. So, as far as that question goes, I would encourage him to more so like humble yourself, bring it down a bit, and learn first. Like really learn first, master it, and in that process of learning, then you're able to coach someone else.
Like
better.
you can practice what you preach because you kind of lived it.
You lived it.
Like even me, like I coach my nephews. Like I've coached both my nephews, but the reason I can is because I've lived what they are going through sports wise, life wise. Like
Yeah, and you
listen,
understand the struggles
yeah,
that they're
like-
feeling at that time.
and at that point you want to help them. Like
Going
listen,
through their minds.
and when I talk to them, I've always talked to. One of my nephews is 16, the other one's about to be 9. And I've always talked to them since they were young, like adults, because I don't believe in this babying thing.
Agreed,
Like
100%.
I'm sorry, I don't know what it is.
I
don't.
moments.
Yeah, like I no, of course, and then I get it. But for me, my personality and the way I like to approach my relationship with them, I'm always like, everything I say it for a reason, and I think they understand it, and I can look at them and they know, like, all right. let me stop
You
playing
might have to
around.
repeat it when they're younger.
Yeah,
About
exactly.
50,000
Exactly.
times.
Oh yeah, trust me. My younger nephew, I tell him 1,000 times, but
I
still,
would start
like,
counting, like, it's been 8 times.
Yeah.
I told you to take a shower.
Yeah.
What's it going to take?
but as they get older, they start understanding the
What-
meaning and the reasons. So
One thing I really wanted to get into, because I like giving perspectives, and we talked about culture and us being Latino. I think that what happens is that we're first generation, a lot of us. So our parents were the workers, and our parents were the ones that almost put pressure on us that you don't want to do what I do. You don't want to do what I do. Do you feel like there's a lot of undue pressure on us because we are the first generation that we have to take it a step further? Do you feel like that also is what drives that whole boss culture, boss bitch culture?
I think I feel that naturally. I think that in my mind, the perspective has always been the generation after you should be better than yours.
100%.
absolutely.
So I, for one, have never felt pressure like that. It's just an understanding that I have to be facts. Like, you know, you should do better. And better doesn't mean CEO of everything. You know? So I think that even with my status right now, I'm pretty respected in my family and seen as someone who is doing well for herself, and that seems to be enough.
Trend setting in your family doesn't mean that you have to be the boss somewhere, right?
No.
And you've made an impact, and people look up to you, and people say, Selina, that's somebody that I can aspire to be because she did what she had to do, right?
Yeah.
And there's an honor in that. And I think in the end of it, it's she's humble, she appreciates what she does, she understands her situation, and she accepts, right? So I think that that's something that we can all take from there, right?
And I'm happy, and not every 9 to 5
There
is
it is.
bad.
Yeah.
You know, like I've been at my company for 8 years now. They've sent me to Japan. I'm consistently growing and learning things, and those are things that are important to me to keep me stimulated every day. And if I have all of those ingredients, then I'm good. Then guess what? You earned yourself an employee.
So there it is.
And real quick before you jump into it, I wanted to touch on exactly what she just said. You said that your job allows you to improve, get better. They give you all these opportunities. Do you feel like some people, I'm going to be honest, don't have that, and they hate upper management, they hate their bosses because one, they're not getting those opportunities, and two, they feel like they're stuck.
Yeah.
So you it's not to say you hate upper management or you want to be a boss because you don't have, it's just because where you're at right now, you just feel like you can't grow.
And I think that example is more common than not.
Of course.
So, yeah, in that sense, there is a changing of your story. I don't ever want to feel stuck at any time. It's an oppressive thing. And
Absolutely. I've been there.
so if you are unhappy with your 9 to 5, which is often the case for a lot of people, I would flip it and go, all right, well, I need to get out of here at some point. Even if I can't tomorrow, I can't just up and quit right now. Maybe I need to take some classes, doing something else. Maybe I need to learn this trade.
You got to plan for it.
Or maybe there's somewhere
plan
something.
Your escape.
Yeah, or maybe there's something even within the company that they're willing to transfer you over that maybe intrigues you more. Maybe there's a department or people that you want to shadow or a mentor in there that you say, maybe I want to spend some more time with this person because I don't see myself doing this, but this doesn't define me. Maybe that does.
Yeah,
Maybe
like this
I
is
can try
cool,
that.
but I'm not, like you said, I'm not happy with it. And then remember, didn't Jowdy share that within our episode when we talked to her? She was just like, she was like a graphic designer for a minute in her company, and she transferred over to doing something that was different, right?
Yeah.
And that could fulfill her life.
So there were 2 key words in when you were describing your job, and it was not the length, right? Because it's nice to have some longevity where you are. But I think that you mentioned the word happy, right? And that resonated with me. And then you mentioned learning. It's important, and I think that for the viewers there, it's important for you to trust that the tenure that you have in your job, as long as they're challenging you that way, they sent her to Japan, they trust her enough to say, you know what, we're going to expand your responsibilities, we're going to give you more. So she's learning, she's being challenged. So why would you look or frown upon a 9 to 5?
When you're being invested in.
Yeah.
That's another piece. Yo, if your job isn't investing in you, that ain't your job. Like, get the
Yeah.
fuck out of there, honestly.
Yeah,
Like,
and to be real, like that, I have my boss to thank for that. Shout out to Nancy.
Hey, Nancy.
it was good.
But you know, like she does believe in me and she pushes me, and I mean, people don't have that kind of boss company wide. You know, like
course.
there are some unhappy people with not so great bosses, but we could even circle it back to the whole boss idea. Like, I don't think that she would be able to be that kind of boss if she wasn't first that kind of student.
And also, real quick, don't you think she's a better boss because she has you as an employee? So in a sense, you're the reason she's a better boss because you're a dope ass employee.
It's
like,
one of those organic situations where both of them are helping each
yeah,
other.
that's what I'm saying. Yeah. So if she wouldn't be able to manage and do everything if she didn't have employees like you, so at the same time, like, yo, you have to be a dope ass employee to have, you know what I mean? So it goes like full circle in a sense.
Yeah, you got to be moldable. You got to be teachable. And then as a boss, you don't want to, like, if I make a mistake or if I just completely drop the ball on something, she knows how to step in and be stern, like, you know, not make excuses for me. And also, she's really good about, like, patience with me.
Understanding.
You know, like if you know, like, she's trying to teach me something and I'm like not getting it. Like, she's patient and she lets me make mistakes and she just stays with me until
Of course.
I'm there.
Amazing.
That's dope.
That's what makes a good boss.
Yeah,
that's a good boss bitch.
Yeah. I want to make one last point. I think just finishing and closing this topic, I think nowadays everyone wants to be someone without really putting in work, right? For me, I always want to be known for my work, right? You talked about what your legacy or what you want to be known for when you're done. For me, I want people to be like, damn, like, Ryan helped me, right? Whatever it was, physically or emotionally or mentally, whatever it was, like, he helped me be better. At the end of the day, I sleep better at night knowing because I do that for myself. I want to be able to do that for many other people. So be known for your work. If anything, who cares if you're the boss at this moment? Maybe continuing to pursue whatever you're doing and climb those, like, steps and ladders and having help from your bosses. If you're not getting that help,
there's a progression here, right? Each one teach one, right?
Exactly.
That's what it boils down to.
Yeah.
So let's segue right into our mailbag. Another guest, another mailbag. So first question is it okay to like people's pics and DM with someone if you're in a relationships? And that's from Don from Somerset, New Jersey.
What are you DMing about, Mr. Don? Liking pics is cool. That's pretty harmless. I mean, unless you stray towards, like, liking every XXX.
Yeah.
Not tentación. You know, resisto.
Yeah.
yes.
You know, it depends on what you guys are talking about. Like, we've DM'd
Yeah, of course.
about the show. Like, you know, like, and it's totally fine. If maybe the rule of thumb could be if your girl would disapprove of seeing those DMs, then maybe you shouldn't.
To me, it boils down to... Go ahead, Ryan.
No, go ahead. Touch on it.
To me, it boils down to this. Would you say what you said in that DM around your significant other?
Facts. That's what if you can say no, then you already know you're doing something you shouldn't be doing.
Yeah, stay out the DM.
I almost feel like he knows he's not.
Yeah, like, come on, bro. Like,
doing by asking that question.
I think we know better. If you're an adult, like, you know better. You know what's harmless. You know what's business, right? If you're trying to reach out to somebody to connect with them, that's different. Like, or laughing, ha ha ha. Yeah, like, harmless stuff, I'm cool with that. Like, you can like as many pictures as you want. I don't give a damn.
Yeah.
Like, but at the end of the day, man, you know better. If you're in a relationship, have that respect, and you're in a commitment with somebody. Stop playing games, man.
There's a line, and the line is respect.
Yeah,
Don't
and
cross
maybe
it.
benefit of the doubt. Let's say these messages are harmless, and perhaps he's asking because his partner is just generally more jealous, and she might have a problem, even though he's having completely safe conversations. Then that's still a problem for you to
Yeah, case by case.
tiptoe. Like, maybe you need a different girl.
Maybe you need to go to Dr. Phil for that.
We can only hope so much.
Yeah.
So, Dom, I hope we answered your question.
Cool. Our next question comes from Adam in Brooklyn. He says, big supporter. I feel like I want to please everyone and sometimes need everyone to like me, but I also feel like I have so much to offer. My question is, what makes someone a good leader?
I think we touched on that in terms of, I guess, your level of connection with people and how you're able to interact with them and reach them and kind of get into those spots of a person's mind that are asleep. And first lead by example. You know, like
100%. Roll up your sleeves.
Show it before you can teach it. And it's like being a people pleaser is noble and all to a degree, but it can be really toxic for yourself if that's what you center your work around, is people pleasing. That shouldn't be what drives you. You know, there should be a bigger calling than just making other people happy, because that'll take from you more than anything.
That's very true. For me, it's simple. It's, can you inspire the uninspired? You know, can you, because that happened to me. I was thrust in a management position just because I was the roll up the sleeves guy. And they felt like people gravitated towards me naturally, and they saw leadership qualities in me, but it doesn't mean that I was leading, right? I was leading by example. So I had to learn to inspire the uninspired. I had people that now reported to me that I had the right performance reports for. And how do I get this guy who I like, who used to be my friend, who now reports to me? How do I get him to bring up his performance? How do I show him that, you know what, there's something that you could be doing that's better? And I'm not telling you as your boss, I'm telling you as someone that has a mutual interest, someone that's been in your shoes. So that's what it boils down to me.
And for me, same thing. Me and my boss actually talked about this. Shout out to my boss. But there's like actual ways, different people learn differently, right? So they have to be led differently. So being able to talk to somebody a certain way, I think for me, understanding and actually going through, knowing, understanding what works, being able to explain it to your employees and stuff like that, that is super duper important. So I think one of the best,
understanding their individual languages.
Exactly. Everybody, you got to talk to everybody different. I can't talk to Juan the same way I would talk to you.
No, that's true.
Because Juan might be more of like an assertive, like, oh, I need to tell him to do this, and he'll get on the stuff. You, I might have to come at you a little bit different, like a little more emotional, whatever it is. Like that's something you have to, as a boss, learn to understand, and from there you can be a better leader. Yeah.
Read the room.
Yeah. So we hope we helped you out, Adam.
Pats on the back here. Yeah. So this is our chance for Selina. We're going to give you the floor to address our viewers, whatever you want to say. It doesn't have to be on topic, whatever you want.
Okay.
No pressure.
None at all whatsoever. Leaving on a note of just kind of not caring as much about perhaps how you're perceived by everyone.
That's so big.
You know, you can care to a point because being well groomed is a form of good manners. So don't just walk out of the house all crazy. But care to like an extent because you don't want to not care at all because then you're completely like distant from everyone else around you. But
be mindful.
But make sure that you know you're one of those people that you care about. And
wow,
that was pretty nice. Yeah.
And I don't know, just, you know, find what makes you happy, do more of it, be able to, you know, readjust when you need to, because you'll be called to do that a lot throughout life as you continue growing, and stay fluid, stay like water.
Oh, yeah.
I like it.
Do you have any projects coming up, like new ones?
Not at the moment.
No?
Okay.
How about you want to remind them what that project was that you worked on?
So yeah, this past February, I released Change the Narrative, which is completely in line with this whole episode right now. It's
on all the streaming?
Yeah, it's available everywhere except YouTube, which I know is like, YouTube's like
normally
the easiest thing.
Normally those places put them on there.
Oh, I don't know. Maybe it is on there.
Yeah, normally those places do.
Okay, but it's you know, for sale and stream.
We'll put the link in our bio.
Yeah, we'll put the link down there.
Yeah, and just make sure, I don't know if you want them to follow you on any social media, if you want to shout that out.
You guys are great at this.
Yeah, we're all right.
I'm Selina C on Instagram, Selina, S-E-L.
It's right here.
Yeah, we'll put it right beautifully set under her somewhere.
I don't have to spell it
so
out.
check it out. Check out her
right
music.
there.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. We look forward to checking it out and hearing a lot more. I definitely want to check it out, see what's up with it.
Actually, funny thing, I produced a beat. I used to be a producer. Yeah. I produced a beat, I think over 10 years ago. And I sent it to her. I don't know like why I started sending her beats, but I know she said she was working on an album. And by the way, she's working with great producers and engineers already. So it's not like I tried to shoehorn myself in there, but my beat actually made the album, and it's on my playlist.
Selfish plugs.
And like every song, I feel like I didn't really get into this, but like from start to finish, it's kind of it's a story. It's like from when you wake up in the morning to when you go to bed at night, and there's like different. It's hard for you to grasp that if you're not really like in it with me, and like you're gonna have to listen a few times. But N-Word was the song that I recorded to your beat, and that one is like, you know, pretty much what the song suggests is just like taking that moment, and it's at the end of the day when you've gone through like all the stuff that you got to do.
Of course.
And you check back in with yourself, and you take that emotional inventory and assess what's going on, what you like, what you don't like, and just kind of sort your thoughts out so that they're dealt with before you start the next day.
Look inward.
Word up. So I guess this is a perfect time to go into our Talk Down Challenge. Juan.
Our Talk Down Challenge for this episode is for you to start noticing those unsung heroes who work hard, take pride in who they are, and at what they do. Take some time to acknowledge and truly appreciate there's an important role in the community for everyone, even if it isn't the most lucrative or flashiest. We've grown accustomed to touting those who claim to be a boss and bicker at the thought of punching a clock every day, but it all boils down to perspective, and it's really quite simple. In an age that encourages followers, promotes false idols, and often leaves collateral personal losses, perhaps what you do right now is exactly where the world needs you to be, and there shouldn't be any shame in that.
None at all. So look, guys, I think Selina actually nailed it on the head, man. Be happy. I think ultimately that's what you want. Be happy, feel happy. And if you can do that within whatever job that you do and it makes you feel fulfilled and you can grow within it, continue doing that. And go from there.
Yeah. So the episode is over, but the conversation continues.
Yes, sir. So you can always check us out. Check out old episodes if you haven't. All of the stuff in our description. Check out, subscribe, hit the bell. Like this, drop a comment. We appreciate you. Follow everybody that we've had on so far. As always, tell a friend to tell her friend to tell all of her friends to follow us, man. We look forward to checking out on the next episode. Thanks again for tuning in. For Ryan
and Juan and Selina.
Yeah. We're heading out. Take care, guys. We'll see you on the next episode. Peace.
Oh, that was fun, you guys.
Let it talk down when I'm not around, yeah. It's only tied down when I'm out of town, no. I don't trust many when I'm in the city. I've never been a shooter, but I keep them with me. Watch 'em